Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
So, did anybody ever tell you what was said about what happened the 2 nights before everything happened?
No, like when he ended up passing, all I heard that he was really drunk and choked on his own vomit is what I heard.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you the real story, and do not tell Zach because he doesn't know that I'm going tomorrow to talk to them or anything yet, and I don't want him to find out because I don't want him to try to change his story.
I won't.
But what happened was, we were in my car. PACIFICA messaged at like 6 o'clock at night, and she said, come get me on board, whatever. So we went and we got her. We were driving around drinking wine out of a box or whatever. And then it got later at night. And didn't she call you that night and talk to you while we were at Stewart's?
I think I was at work, but I never answered.
You were somewhere or something, but I don't know. She said she was calling you, and then she was all pissed off at Zach and whatever. So then, she told Zach, take me to get drugs. So I drove the car to Amsterdam to this house. The guy that he bought the drugs from is already in jail, got arrested or whatever. So, fucking... he bought heroin and he gave it to her, and I said that's too much. I said don't give that to her, and he said no, she'll be fine, blah 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 blah. Then he goes, all right, let's just take this home. So I got to her house, and she was in the back seat, and she we were both yelling at her and everything, and she wasn't answering. And she'll get drunk. You probably know she gets drunk and she'll pass out, but she'll talk back to you if you yell at her.
Right.
So she wasn't answering him. So then he goes, all right, I'll just help her in the house. So I walked behind them. He helped her in the house, put her in the bed. So I felt like something was wrong, but I couldn't tell at the time. I didn't know for sure what was going on for real. So then we get back in the car, and he's like, her face was blue. And we're driving home, and I'm like, what do you mean her face was blue? He's like, her face looked blue. And I'm like, if her face was blue, she wouldn't be alive. She'd be dying. That's what happened. So then the next day, didn't hear from her. Phone's off 24 hours now. I'm freaking out. I'm like, something's wrong. You need to figure this out. You need to go over there. And he's at work. He's like, I can't go until I get out of work. So he got out of work. I was in his bed sleeping. And then he calls me at 6:50 in the morning. And as soon as I answer the phone, first thing in the morning, I get on the phone and he says, she's dead. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I got here and I came in and I felt her and she wasn't alive. So I went over there and I'm sitting there and he's lying to the police. I didn't give a statement, but he did, and he told the police all this, he left out the whole part about the drugs. So then I'm thinking about this and all this time and stuff, and then Lori was messaging me, pissed mom, and she's asking me stuff about it. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm like, Zach lied on his police report. I heard his police report, and what he said was not true. He gave her heroin, and she fucking snorted it. And I told him that he shouldn't have gave her any of it because she was drunk in the first place. A drunk person cannot tell you what they want.
Exactly.
It's you can't do that. So then people are trying to blame me and saying that it's my fault all this time, and I'm thinking to myself, should I just tell them Zach bought it for her and gave it to her and did all this stuff for her? Or should I just keep keeping it a secret and stuff? So then yesterday, I posted a picture of me and Dylan on my Snapchat story, Dylan Crutzer, and Zach got all pissed off at me. I went to go make him his dinner before he went to work, and he messaged me, and he's like, oh, you posted Dylan on your Snapchat story, blah, 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 blah. I freaked again and doing all this other shit. I said, you think I'm going to keep your secrets and let you fucking hide all this shit from everybody and act like you're all innocent and you're going to treat me like this? I was like, no. So I messaged Lori and I said, I got to talk to you. I said, I got to tell you something. So I talked to Lori. I told her the whole story. I said, he lied on his police report to the police. I said, I have messages to prove it. Because I texted him and I said, you killed your best friend and you fucking think that you're cute around here acting all crazy and shit, doing all this stupid shit, smoking crack and doing all this other stuff. I was like, if you never gave your friend the drugs, she probably would still be here today and nobody, like, it's beyond me how you can live with yourself knowing that you did something like that and then threatening people to hide this secret and then just disrespecting them and acting like you didn't do anything wrong. So Lori was like, will you come talk to the sheriff tomorrow about it? I was like, I'll tell the sheriff the whole story from the time the night began to the time the night ended. I remember every single fucking detail. And you know what? It's fucked up that I hid that for him at the same time, but at least I'm coming clean eventually. He was going to go to his grave with that shit, that secret, like not ever telling anybody anything that he knew.
Jesus.
And when the coroner came to the house and saw her body, the coroner even said it's an apparent overdose from an opiate. And I acted so dumb and said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. But now that he wants to do all this shit and act fucking switch up on me for no reason, get the fuck out of here. You're not going to live this one down.
Exactly.
Like, that's so stupid. He lied to everybody and said that she didn't do nothing, blah, 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 acting all stupid like nobody would find out.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like Lori's thanking me, and she's like, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you finally said something, because she knew. Everybody knows for a fact that he did it.
It's kind of written, like, across his forehead.
Mm-hmm. He's the only motherfucker that would let something like that happen to her.
He's a horrible person.
Yeah. And then I texted him and I said, like, because I was pissed off at him earlier tonight and I acted like I was stupid and didn't know anything. But I texted him and I was like, I'll be sure to let everyone know how you killed your bestie too. He goes, oh, I thought you said you weren't going to act like that.
Jesus.
Like, you're not even trying to hide it anymore. You're just willing to let it be known that you were the one that did that. I don't understand.
Seriously. I can't deal with this right now. I just got out of work and I have to shower.
Alright, I'm sorry. I just wanted to tell somebody. Like, everybody thinks that, like, nobody knows what really happened, and he acts like nothing happened. It's
Obviously
been bothering
something
me
did
for
happen.
so long, I had to finally tell somebody.
Alright, well, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Let me know how it goes.
Alright, I'll let you know how that all goes.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
Alright, bye.